expression for of hope in hard times. All through the ages, people have done it tough, but those with faith seem to cope better. At the beginning of Hebrews 11, it says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see." So to survive tough times, we really do need to have hope. In fact, one of the things that captors will use if they're trying to break the will of someone they've captured is to say to them, "Nobody knows where you are, nobody knows what's happening to you." And that way, losing all hope means that you generally lose the will to live. And for a Christian, the hope is the knowledge that God is there. And even if we are suffering, we know that there's a purpose to that suffering. And even if the final outcome may be death, we know that we will be with Jesus in a far better place. This is the hope that has sustained many in the past and sustains many today. Some years ago, we had a trip to Turkey and we went to an area called Cappadocia, or Cappadocia, they call it. An amazing area geographically. It was once covered in a thick layer of volcanic ash, which over the years solidified into a rock. It made a soft rock, but a very stable one. And so the area itself being quite isolated, it became a perfect place for people who wanted to hide away. And in the years of Christian persecution by Rome, Christians fled to this area and they carved out for themselves homes and churches in the rock. And today you can see these churches and their painted walls and their arches and everything just looking like a church inside. The homes in many places were like a minor city going down about 20 stories. They'd have a system of tunnels for entry and a rolling stone that could block the tunnel if somebody found the way in. Shafts to the surface could only be small because they had to be disguised on the surface. And if they had to hide down there, it would have been dark. You couldn't burn torches because that wasted oxygen. And sometimes people had to hide down here for days on end. All they would have to do is to denounce Jesus and worship the emperor, and they'd be allowed to live a perfectly normal life. But for the sake of their faith, they chose to suffer and remain loyal. In other words, they put their hope ahead of their current situation. Now, currently, we're being asked to set aside many things that we love to do, outdoor things, meeting in groups. Our freedom is curtailed, but it's for a purpose. And if we keep in sight the reason why these restrictions are there, it makes it a lot easier for us to cope. When you think about it, the lounge rooms with television and heating and cooling and lovely comfortable beds are a little bit different from what those folk in Turkey would have put up with many years ago. Our conditions don't look too bad. We need to trust in the goodness of God, in the knowledge that He's with us and that He will bring good out of our situation. If we do that, we can endure.